Hi, welcome to Take a Break, Take a Breath for Wednesday, November 17th. I'm Rick Boyer, the pastor of Prospect Presbyterian Church. And Take a Break, Take a Breath is an invitation for you to pause in your day, to just sit and relax and breathe, to center yourself in God who made you and loves you and calls you by name. Each time we come together, I offer some reflections on a different passage of Scripture, reading my way through a particular book of the Bible. And today I'm on Romans 11, 1 to 10. Paul has been trying to answer the question, what about his kinsfolk, the Jews, who have not believed? What is the fate for them? And he's really addressing a Jewish Gentile community in Rome and trying to resolve any pride that either one would have and any fear that any of them would have. In this particular passage, he says, hey, what are we to do? Are we left alone? Speaking we as a Jew at that point, and raising up his concern and wondering if God has turned his back on the Jewish people. Of course, the answer is no. God has not turned God's back on them, but rather that God has provided a remnant. He turns to the story of Elijah, where Elijah runs off when he feels like he's the only prophet left and everybody is out to kill him. And God sends an angel to come and minister to Elijah, and Elijah discovers that there is a remnant left, that there is a group of people left, and shows them to him. At the same time, he speaks about hardening of the heart at the end of the text, and that's a troubling thing because throughout the Hebrew Bible there are stories of where people's hearts are hardened. And what is meant by that is when God delays God's promise and people don't respond to the advantage, the opportunity to respond to God's delay and God's mercy, knowing that judgment is coming, then their hearts are hardened. It's not an active hardening as much as it is how people are responding to it. So that's a quick summary of that text, and I want to focus on the verse that reads, "So too, at the present time, there is a remnant chosen by grace." That is verse 5. Can't read the superscript there. Verse 5. So if you haven't already done so, I invite you to go to a quiet place in your house. If the room has a door, close the door, settle into a chair, relax into that chair. Feel the support of the chair on the back of your legs and on your back, and the support of the floor on your feet. Become aware of your surroundings, the colors in the room, the light in the room, the temperature. How does it feel to be in that room? Any sounds that you might hear coming from outside the room or even in the room? Is the heat coming up or blowing? Are the pipes rattling if you have steam? And then close your eyes. Take a deep breath. And as you breathe in the breath of God. And as you breathe out all that separates you from God. As you breathe in the breath of life. And as you breathe out all that does not give you life. As you breathe in God's peace. And as you breathe out all that does not give you peace, all of your worries, your fears, your anxieties, all of those commitments and pressures you feel in your life. Let it all go for just these few minutes. Keep breathing in and out. In and out. In, out. The peace of God is growing and spreading in you. The presence of God's breath of life is filling you. Imagine, because it is, filling your lungs. And your breathing is deep and steady. And from there it moves to your heart. And your heart rate slows to a calm and resting pace. It moves from there into your neck. And as it does so, the muscles in your neck unwind and the tightness becomes soft, supple. It moves from there into your brain. And as it does so, your mind becomes calm and peaceful. And all of the things that have been flying around in your head settle down. It moves into your face. Your brow unfurrows. Your jaw relaxes. Perhaps you even smile. It moves from your heart into your shoulders and down your arms to the tips of your fingers. As it does so, the muscles in your shoulders relax because the burdens that you've been holding on to, the things that you've been grasping so tightly with your hands, have been released for this time. And the muscles in your arms are renewed and refreshed because the weight of the day has been set down. It moves from your heart into the muscles of your back. And your back muscles relax. All of the things that you've been hiding and burying and holding on to in your mind, the stresses that get buried in your back and give you backaches, are let go for this time. It moves into your stomach. And all of the churning in your stomach gets calm and peaceful. And it moves down into your legs to the tips of your toes. The weariness of your legs and feet from all of them running around, and the sense of having to run around, is let go for just this little while. The peace of God is touching every cell in your body, every part of who you are. The breath of life is offering life to you. And in your mind's eye, go to a place that you would go if you were in a situation where you felt everyone was against you and you were all alone. Where would you go to hide and to rest and to sleep? What does it look like in that place? What does it feel like? What are the things that would cause you to go to this place today? What sounds do you hear? Hagar goes out into the wilderness to hide when she's driven out under a bush and turns her head away when she feels all alone and knows that her son is dying. Elijah runs out in the wilderness under a tree because he's afraid he is all alone and that the king and queen and all of Israel's army is out to kill him. What is it that pushes you to that place? You fall asleep, and then suddenly you are awakened by an angel. The angel pokes you, offers you a refreshment. And the two of you sit together and talk. What are you doing here? How come you feel alone? I'll be quiet while you talk and listen for the response of God's angel, God's messenger. And then the time for the conversation to end is nearing. And the angel, the messenger of God, reminds you of some wonderful things about our faith. The messenger points to the heavens and says, "You are surrounded by a cloud of great witnesses. All the people of faith you have ever known are in the clouds, cheering you on, rooting for you. Jesus is at the right hand of God, interceding for you. And you are not alone in life. There are many who are with you. There are many who love you and support you." Having heard that message, the two of you say goodbye in whatever way is appropriate. And you bring yourself back to the room where you are. And when you are ready, open your eyes. Well, that's Take a Break, Take a Breath for Wednesday, November 17th. I'm Rick Boyer. If you have feedback for me, or you want to talk or pray, send an email to rick@prospectchurch.org.